Welcome to a follow along calisthenics video that I've put forth for you guys to start your year as strong as possible, especially those wanting to get into calisthenics. I've broken this down into different levels. So this is level 1 of a pull-up. You are getting assisted by this resistance band, which is like a massive rubber band which helps you on the pull-up phase. When you're performing a pull-up, you want to ensure that your chin goes over the bar, and you also want to ensure that your arms are locking all the way out on the downward phase. Make sure you get out of the band safely. Here I have Kevin, and Kevin is performing the same movement I just performed but unassisted, so he is not using a band. He is pulling his body weight. This is going to work your arms, this is going to work your back, and again making sure your chin is getting all the way over the bar and that you fully extend your arms on the downward phase. Third level is advanced. These are called muscle ups, and this is you pulling yourself explosively over the bar into a dip. These are quite hard. It took me a few months to get this initially, but this is what made me fall in love with calisthenics. Then we move on to band assisted dips. So again, using that massive band for support. So when Kevin goes here to push himself up, the band is helping him because it's around his knees. Make sure you're breathing here. So on your way up, you want to breathe out. On your way down, you want to be breathing in. You want to make sure your arms are locked out at the top and you're going to a 90-degree angle, as you're seeing me do here with the unassisted on the downward phase. Depending on where you train, some dip bars are high. Finsbury Park ones are quite high, so I can keep my legs straight. When I train at Langdon Park, I do have to bend my knees, but just gauge it on how high the dip bars are. These ones are explosive, so you're letting go of the bar for each rep and traveling from one end to the other. As I mentioned here, you don't necessarily have to travel. You can do it in one spot, just going up and down. And then you have your inverted rows. Apologies that you can't see my feet, but my feet are planted here. You can bring your feet in. The closer your feet are to your waist, the easier this movement will be, because the more stability you have. And then you've got your elevated inverted rows, which Kevin's performing here. So you're no longer got the stability of your feet being on the ground. Again, when you perform this movement, you're aiming to get your arms to a 90-degree angle and you're fully extending them on the downward phase. And the third movement is an advanced variation where you're literally having to control your body weight and engage your core to keep your knees in this position here. We got the guy in the back doing a handstand. Here you've got your incline press ups. So I've done it on this surface, but if I was to do it in the middle surface where the bag and bands are, it would be a lot easier. So the higher the surface is, the easier it is. The lower the surface is, the harder it is. You can practice these on a wall in your house if you're really struggling with your body weight, and then you can progress to these ones where more of your body weight is being on the tension, well, I'd say your chest and your triceps for your press ups. So yeah, give these a go. Then we move on to some lower body stuff. So this is level 1, which is quite easy, just steps. Set a time. I've said 45 seconds, rest for 15. You can do 50 seconds, rest for 10. You could do a whole minute of those. If you're at a steady pace, you can do a whole minute of those. These more like bunny hops, which is a little bit more difficult. Try and keep your feet in time and try and keep the jumps even. Don't go off too fast, because if you're doing that for 45 seconds, you will get tired. Same goes for the advanced version. And even though we're doing this in an outdoor space at the park, you can find something to use. Have in your living room, make sure there's enough space on either side, and aim for 10 to 15 jumps. Here we go into round 2. Now the purple band is lighter than the green band that I used for round 1, so it means I'm having to work a little bit more. Depending on the size of the band that you use, the more you have to work yourself, and the aim is to gradually get yourself off of the band. So you would go from this band to an even lighter band once this becomes easy for you. I would say 10 to 12 reps is a state where you can say, okay, I want to go for a lighter band, and then work your way all the way off of the band, just like Kevin's doing here, where he's pulling his body weight and he's going into an L-sit, but he's doing the movement without any assistance from a band. If you're doing these in a gym environment, you'll find certain machines will support you and you can actually attach a weight, and then depending on how comfortable you are, you can gradually lower the weight. Here we work on our core, so you can see I'm doing some knee tucks. These are the easiest of the three. If you aren't comfortable with holding your body weight, you can always do this on a bench, which will make it a lot more easy. Next step from your knee tucks is your leg raises. These are a bit harder because your legs are fully extended this time. You want to go for a 90-degree angle. Kevin's going a bit beyond 90 degrees, but that just makes it a little bit harder. And you want to refrain from swinging. I go for total bars. These are the hardest ones, but a good progression. And there are other core exercises you can do on the bar. So you've got your windscreen wipers. These ones are good. I've got tight hamstrings, so you can see there's a slight bend in my knees, but that's something I need to work towards in 2025. Here's some more lower body stuff. So any surface you can find if you're doing this indoors, literally just doing a squat, keeping your feet planted when you perform these, so don't let your feet leave the ground. Well, obviously here, when you get to the intermediate and you're going for the explosive ones, your feet are coming off of the ground. And then for your advanced movement, I've added weight. Now, if you don't have dumbbells at home, find any heavy object that you can hold and just go for weighted squats. These are helping me a lot build up quad strength, so I've been doing them quite a bit whilst I'm at Finsbury Park. And then you've got your walking lunges. These are quite easy, and as you can see, each time I do a walking lunge, I reset. So I bring both my feet together. If you want to make it harder, you can do it without the reset, but if you need that reset, then take that extra step. You see Kevin does the same movement here, but he's just added weight. So you're just adding that weight resistance to each repetition, which is going to work the quad muscles even more. And then I show an alternative just in case you don't have a lot of space. If you're confined to a room where there isn't much room, you can do explosive lunges. And then if you want to make your explosive lunges even harder, you can always add weight to it, whether you hold dumbbells in your hands or a heavy object at home. Here you've got an easy and a hard variation of step ups. I'm doing the easy variation, which is just simply stepping up onto a flat surface and then switching legs. Kevin is gone for a harder variation, and what he's doing is he's stepping up on a higher surface, but he's also driving his knee up, as you can see, using his arms to help and doing the same amount of reps on each side. Then some cardio based stuff, some side steps, and again, this is based on how fast you do it. So if you do this quickly, you're gonna really feel it. If you keep a steady pace, you can probably go for 45 seconds on and 15 seconds off. I then do an explosive one where I'm going on and off. And again, based on how fast you perform this movement will dictate how fatigued you get. If you want to make it more intense on the outward phase, where my feet are on the floor, you can add a squat, and then you're working your quads even more. Thank you for tuning in to my short beginner calisthenics video. Hope you enjoyed, and I will be following up with some more introduction movements that you can perform whilst at home or whilst outdoors training. Take care.
That's all, folks.